today, what we want to do, one of the Chazon Ish and the Toisves and the Giz. Is it the Chazon Ish and the Giz are the same or not? That's number one. Number two, we want to say a third possibility, an understanding of what this is about, what's going on here. Or to try to magdir it. And I found in Mishnah Berurah, in Biyun Halacha, that I said years ago. So I want to reconstruct what I said then. Siyata D'Shmaya. Then I want to speak about a Musa Shmuz, a very important Musa Shmuz, about the Sefer that Rabbi Yitzchak is taking, is coming out with, on the book of logic of Rabbi Yitzchak and Talmud, the importance of it in Yeshiva. We want to speak about that. So I hope everyone has the Tosfot. I see here they printed Tosfot and the Rashi and Eruvin. Rosh and Brachos, okay, very good. More in Sukkah. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's start with Tosfot. Siyata D'Shmaya. It says in the Mishnah, Lo yifchetu lo me'arba koisos. They should not give less than, should not give him, the word him, Lord means him. They should not give him less than 4 cups. What? Who is him? The one is talking about is the Ani, I would say. That's simple. No. Just about who we're talking about. Previous it says, even a poor person in Israel should not eat until he reclines. And then it continues on, and he should not give him less than 4 cups. Give him seems to be the same person you're talking about before. And the person talking about before is even a poor Jew. So not give him less than giving who should give. Gavai tzedakah should not give him. Should not give him less. Talk about giving, or if you of your own balabai, you don't get, you don't give to someone. He buys himself, gets himself. So giving him simply talking about a poor person. So you should not give him, that poor person, less than 4 cups. The Gavai tzedakah. This is what it says here in the Mishnah. Okay. Now. B'davka, I'm happy to talk about the Davka Gemara of Rabbi Yitzchak Kanfanton, which the Siyata D'Shmaya, Rabbi David Sackton, he, first of all, he reprinted it from one of the new editions, manuscripts, and he used Mevaret, and he's Mefalpin in it, an amazing Sefer, which all the Gedolim in the previous generation learned, like the Chazon Ish used it, and all the Gedolim used it. For many years, all Yeshivas and Talmud used to use in Yeshiva. And he also used the Ramchal. For me personally, the Ramchal was very hard. Talk about it today. But definitely the Darkei Gemara, much easier for me to use. So I want to talk about the statement we have. Let's use a little bit of Darkei Gemara. The first thing we have to do is what I would think without this statement. Davar v'fuchoy. It's called davar v'fuchoy. The thing itself. And I would say, without it, what I would say, I would say opposite. I would say the same thing. Or different. Now we know he says, one of his basic rules, that since always the Gemara is pshita, simple, whatever it is, means it cannot be that the Mishnah is telling us a law which is known and common sense. Otherwise, I don't need it. Do I need to say this table is brown? It's brown. I don't need to say it. It's not so clear if it's brown, has black strips there, isn't that? But then it's brown. Which means something which is a chidush, the Mishnah, the Halacha has to tell me. Something which is simple, Chachamim don't speak simple things.
Says sometimes,
right.
This is being, we say a mama, they agree with this stuff.
Right. So it means the Svar is not 100% clear. And as I tell you, there's a true svara. That's possible. But if there's no chidush, you don't need to speak. Chachomim don't speak if there's no chidush. That's the number one. The chidush can be for the sefer, for the reisha, for derech agav to tell you something else, for the thing itself, for a diuk, for mashmos. Could be a lot of chidushim, but the chidush has to be. Cannot be a statement of chachomim or wise rabbis with no chidush. This is the basic understanding of Mishnayos and Gemara Divrei Chachomim. Same things up as well. Okay. So now, if the Mishnah says, "Lo yifchatu lo pachot me'arba kosher," do not give him less than 4 cups. What I would think, the word "give less" means I would say what, to give more, or I would give less and tell you I will give maybe 1 cup, 2 cups. It says no, don't give less than 4 cups. It's very strange. If I want to say 1 or 2 misvot chitzonim, and the Mishnah tells you you have to give him more, so you should say don't give less. Means don't give less means the svara is to give less. And I tell you don't give less. Don't give less. Don't give less than 4 cups, which means I would say to give 2 cups. Or no, maybe talk about give the whole household 4 cups. Everyone in the household. Tells you no, don't give him less than 4 cups. That's a normal statement. If I want to say, you don't have to give the whole house, and don't give him less than 4 cups. Don't give him less than 4 cups. And the Haberman was to give 8 cups, 12 cups for the whole household. I says, no, don't give him less than 4 cups. That would be a normal statement.
He's responsible for his house.
He's responsible for his house. I say, don't. So you should give him. Don't give him less than 4 cups. Means that's the minimum, and not 8 and 12 and 16 or 20, whatever the house people in the house. So the lo yifchatu goes on and don't give more. You don't have to give more. Give minimum 4, or don't give less. Give 4 and not 2 and 1 and 3. Now let's see the language of Tosfot. Yes, Rabbi.
We say, why you have to give a focus?
Yes.
So you have a lochem shuchanot and sim kufnu.
Yes.
Shuchanot says that in Shuchanot says one of the lochem. You have the Torah says you have to give him a day machzor sheyachsam. What is missing? The question is what the halach is not the gabbai tzedakah has to give him a sheyachsam.
Yes.
You have to what he is missing. What the person is missing, you have to see. He's missing 4 cups. He's missing maybe 2 cups. You have to be covered. A person can have 4 cups.
So obviously he doesn't have anything, because you didn't have to give him 4. If he had 2,
No,
so
but what is
you
it?
should have said, Yashlimu lo, complete him for 4 cups.
But that's in general.
The complete means he has something incomplete. It says, lo yifchetu means he has nothing. And you give him the whole thing, but not less than 4.
I mean,
Lav dafka. If he has something, it means he's complete. Yashlimu lo, because he should complete for 4 cups.
That's the assumption that you know what he has.
Right? So he's saying, you know about the guy who says, simply means they don't know what he has. It could be a 0. So it says, don't give him less than 4. And the whole 4 you need to give him.
And he's focused on the mitzvah 4 cups and not in general all year round food.
What?
The focus.
Yes, the focus on the mitzvah of a person. Now, wait a second. The Mishnah did not tell us where this aloha about bakoshes come from. The Mishnah is assumed that we know where the laws of bakoshes come from, which the next Mishnah will explain. And we know the reason, we know the source, the law of bakoshes. This is the law of bakoshes. What's the source? Rashi brings down in Metric. Against 4 language of Gula. Gemara page 117b says, the Rechelus 4 cups the rabbis fix in the way of Chelus. There's the fixing on mitzvahs.
That's the purpose of it.
Right? That's the purpose, that's the reason. Now, we're telling you that the law, the mitzvah, 4 cups, she should give to a poor person and don't give him less than 4 cups. That's what the Mishnah says. So now let's see the statement of Tosfot. Mitoch alashon mashma k'tzat. Everybody has the Gemara, the language of the Gemara. I have here some paper. People don't have. Come over to me and I'll give it up. You have, everyone is missing the Tosfot, the Rashim, Eruvin. People have, everybody has. Moshe? What's your name? Moshe. One second, give out to some people behind you. No, but Rabbi, the Reuven doesn't have it. Elder. Okay. Yoshua, what about you? You have to come close. Don't live far. What? What? I know you have it. Sit close. Why? I can't even see from there. I can't see your face. If you understand, you're sad, you're happy. I can't see your face. What? Space. Okay, you need space. Good. Stay with that. Very good. Tosfot says, "Mitoch halashon mashma." From within the language, mashma k'tzat. There's a little bit of being understanding. What does mashma k'tzat mean? Mashma k'tzat means there's other ways to read it. Within the language, mashma k'tzat.
There's a little bit of understanding.
A little bit of understanding. Very strange. She'ein notnim lebanam lebeito. You don't give to his children and to the children of the house. Probably children means above 13. Children has means less than 13. Or girls. Ki'im le'atzmo, only for himself. V'hu moiti iskulom, and he exempts all of them. Besheloi, in his own cup. What it says here? What does it say here in Tosfot? It says that from the language, you can infer a little bit that you only give him. The word him, the poor person, do not give him less than 4, is mashma that only him you give him, because if there was more, we should have mentioned. You should not give the kol echad, don't lessen the kol echad v'echad in the house. Every person in the house should not be less than 4 cups. When we talk about him, we talk about the minimum, not less than 4, is mashma k'tzaz, you can infer a little bit, that is only him and not anybody else in the house. You don't have to give him 8 and 12 and 16 and 20 cups in the house. It does as many people there is in the house.
They say in English, it leaves room to say. Efshalom. The mashma is like an efshalom.
It's possible to say that that's a statement, that's a diuk, but you can remove it. No, we talk about each individual poor person in the house. A poor Jew. There's only one poor Jew in Israel, there's many. Should not give him, that poor Jew, whatever the poor Jew is. If one of the children has a lot of money, he makes money, and he comes to visit his father, you have to give him? No. You have to give the poor people. Whatever the poor is, we're talking about the individual poor as part of the poor Jews. So there's many, whatever, if there's 10 poor Jews in the house, 2 poor Jews, 3, you give each one 4 cups.
How do they tell me in the table? Maybe who says you?
What?
Who says you consider individually? Maybe they're telling in the table.
Maybe.
So what?
Maybe yes, maybe not. So it's only mashma k'tzat. The word mashma k'tzat, from the language you can infer a little bit. Now, Tosfos continues and he says a svara. V'svarahu. Tosfos is a common sense. Now on the svara, this is our shiur today. On this svara, Reb Chaim HaLevi asked the question. He gave an answer. The Chazon Ish has his own answer, or it's the same. We'll see B'ezrat Hashem if we did the same or not. We're going to start thinking about this concept. Let's see. So Tosfos on the language, mashma k'tzat. But from the svara,
If you think the swore why he said that much because
v'svarahu, no, he says mitoch halashon.
I know, but then he said the
No, he
swore. He
said
said
the
swore.
swore.
Why?
One is mitoch halashon within the language, mashma k'tzat, and one is svara. So different things.
No, he's saying because of the spar, I can say this in the Mishnah. That's what Rav is saying.
I'm saying that the swore is to support what he said, not to.
No,
Yeah,
because
that's
of
support,
the
that's
spar.
good.
Why do you say because of the spar?
No, that's not what they say. So within the language, a little bit hurt. You can infer a little bit. And there's a svara. That's what he says. So let's listen to the svara. Demaishno arba koisos. What's the difference between 4 cups? Mikidush kol hashana. From the law of Kiddush the whole year. She'echad moitzi skulo. One can exempt everyone. Toises makes a comparison between Kiddush and 4 cups. Toises says, it's a common sense. What's the difference between 4 cups of the whole year from Kiddush? What's the difference 4 cups from Kiddush the whole year that one exempts everyone? Same way by Kiddush, one can exempt everyone. Also by 4 cups, one exempt everyone. And then he retracts. Wait a second. Who says Kiddush is not Stalocha? Umiu gam Kiddush. Shema maybe. However, also by Kiddush, maybe because everyone had a cup. So it's not, say everyone had a cup. So it's not just happens to be that everyone had a cup. So you need to have each one a cup.
Yeah, but wait a minute, you don't know what the difference with the cup or the mitzvah of the cup.
We're going to talk about that.
You're saying it's the cup of the wine.
Wait. First of all, we want to know what's the comparison and what's Tosfos doubt. Tosfos makes a comparison between Kiddush and Arba Kosos. So you want to know what's the comparison. That's what we want to understand in the table. And Tosfos says, Shema maybe, everyone had a cup. What really Tosfos changed in the Shema and the maybe? Tosfos understood differently there's no similarity in Kiddush and Arba Kosos. Oh no, there is a similarity, but even by Kiddush, each one needs a cup, so also by 4 cups. Which means the basis didn't change. The simple way to learn Tosfos is that the basis didn't change. Tosfos held Kiddush and Arba Kosos are the same. They only said, who told you that by Kiddush one exempt the other? Maybe everyone has a cup by Kiddush. Now why everyone has a cup by a Kiddush? Because the understanding in Kiddush is different. Then Arba Kosos, so no, they're the same, and should both be the same. Just a question, where's the law by Kiddush? We're going to see a little bit about this concept, yes.
I don't agree with that exactly.
You don't agree with that exactly. It's a very amazing statement.
Okay.
Not exactly, I don't understand what you're saying. You agree or don't agree?
I don't agree.
Or you don't know yet what you want to say, defining what you want to
I
say.
don't agree. You're saying, when he said, what's the difference? He's meaning, there's not an essential difference. So to say, but even though there's not...
Yes, I agree, not essential difference.
But now when he says...
So you want to afford, this is 4 cups, this is 1.
If a cup, but each one needs a cup, so that would break the difference. It would break the simple comparison exists, but there's an...
Wait, what did you say? Listen to what he said. Very good. He says, when Tosfos says maybe by Kiddush everyone has a cup, who breaks the difference? I don't think that's a simplicity. I can agree to this concept, possibility, but the simple way is not like that. The simple way is that Kiddush and Arba Kosos are the same. Just the shaila is, what's the law of Kiddush? The law is one can exempt everybody else. Or no, even by Kiddush, everyone needs a cup. But when I say everyone needs a cup, do I change my understanding in Kiddush? Maybe yes, maybe not. I think most likely not, because otherwise, but maybe yes. We're going to see, but let's hold it as a possibility. I'm very happy that for me is a possibility.
You have to define what Kiddush is. And what
that's what we're going to do today.
Is it a mitzvah? Is it the wine? Is it drinking?
You said mitzvah, wine, say over.
All kinds of possibilities.
Okay, so now we explore it. This is our goal today. Yes, Rabbi Yisrael.
Rav pointed out 2 very important things.
Yes.
First thing is that the Rambam says that there's a mitzvah to talk about Yitzchak time and to drink Arba Kosos.
Yes.
Just like it's like it says Zohar, remember that
Kivelo Yisrael.
and just like it says Zohar Sever Shabbos Dekatcher, remember Shabbos. So just like Rambam tells us that just like Chazal understood remembering as saying it on Yayin, so to Chazal understood remembering of Yitzchak time as saying.
Where do you got this Rambam? You mixing the Rambam Aloha Aleph, the Rambam Aloha Chet. I know Rambam. This Rambam of Zohar Mitzrayim is on Aloha Chet or Aloha Aleph? It's Aloha Aleph or Aloha Chet?
Aloha Aleph.
You see? You mixed the Aloha. It's more about Aloha Chet. No, 2 different things. One is secret Yas Mitzrayim. One is to remember. Great. But that's not our mitzvah. You're mixing mitzvahs. One moment, I'll explain to you this one. I'll explain. You said this thing, and I understood very well what you said. That was my thought, first thinking when I read the Rambam, and I said, "Oh no, it's not true." I'll explain myself why it's not true. First, I'll explain what you're saying. Wait. In Aloha Aleph, it talks about the mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, saying the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim. And the Torah says you should remember that you were a slave, that you went out of Israel this night. So, what is the word to remember? He brings a guy from Kiddush, says you should remember the Shabbat. Memory, with words. The Gemara says, on Shabbos, how do you sanctify the Shabbos? It says, Veikatsheu b'peh, but Zachor is b'peh. Veikatsheu is not Zachor, it's two different mitzvahs. Zachor is to remember the Yetzias Mitzrayim through saying the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim. And that's Aloha Aleph. Now, an Aloha Chet is different Aloha. And Aloha Chet talks about...
We're not talking about Aloha Chet. I'll tell you why we're not talking about Aloha Chet.
Wait a minute, I didn't finish. Let me tell you the difference, Rabbi. You were here in 1 second. Yeah, I'm also, I'm standing on 1 foot. When I finish, I always put my other foot down, so then it'll be too long. And Aloha Chet, he's talking about Chayav Adam Leharot Atzmo. A person has to show himself. It's a show. The difference between remember, it says I'm saying the story, and Aloha Chet is you have to do actions of remember you were a slave. There's two different things.
Yeshiva saying it's not true because the Harba places,
Yes.
Yain Mozug is showing yourself things. It's showing things.
Yes.
Harba places itself is just like.
But the Rambam puts everything together. The Rambam brings all the eating, all we eat. He says therefore, since you have to show, therefore all what you eat, you have to eat. We're reclining. Blah, blah, blah. He says all those halachos.
Reclining over here.
Right.
We're not talking about the case. We're not talking about the case. We're just
Let me see. People don't understand what we're arguing about. What's the argument about? So let me tell you a little bit what it says in the Bible. Listen, I know. I just have to answer on the spot, and I'll explain what's the subject about. The Rambam in chapter 5, I think. Which chapter is it? 9, 7. The Rambam starts like this. The Rambam says the mitzvah from the Torah to remember going out of Egypt. And that's why at night, it's a mitzvah from the Torah to say the miracles and the wonders that our forefathers in Mitzrayim and this night. And it says, you should remember this day that you went out of Egypt. To remember this day. How do you remember this day? Like it says, remember the day of Shabbos. And how do we know it's at night? Because it says, this day. Okay. This day. So yeah, you tell the story, and it goes all the laws of saying over the story to the time, and that go. That's an aloha, base him and hey, until hey. Okay. Then in aloha vav, he starts by saying every generation the person needs to show himself as if he went out of Egypt. As if he went out now out of Egypt. As it says, you took us out from you took us out from there. And the Torah command in the Torah says, you should remember that you were a slave in Egypt. What do you mean I was? I remember I wasn't a slave. My grandmother was a slave. Which means, kloima, as if you yourself were a slave and you went out of freedom and you were being redeemed. Therefore, when you eat tonight, when a man eats tonight, he needs to eat and drink while he's reclining in way of chaos. So one is to say the story, and one is to make a show of freedom. To remember, through that, to remember you went out of Egypt. Two different things.
Make a display of freedom.
Display of freedom. So different halachas. There's a girsa liro, is to see, laharo, is to ramos, laharos. Two different halachas. So one halacha is Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, and there we bring the meaning of to remember that this night you went out. Means this to remember, like Zachor by Shabbos means in memory, in words. And there's another halacha of to show yourself, to show for yourself that you were free. How do you show? When you eat, you recline. You should drink 4 cups. You got savor. It has to be sweet wine, good wine, not harsh. 4 cups, whatever the laws is. All goes on and on. So two different halachas. So therefore, you cannot mix up aloha. You got it? He's mixing up aloha and aloha. It's two different halachas.
Yeshiva is learning this Tosfos?
Yes.
How can you say that this Tosfos is talking about the house that's outside?
I'm learning a different Tosfos, you think?
Yes, because if you say the house that's outside, then it's not this Tosfos.
Well, we're going to see now. That's what we're here for. Today, with the help of Hashem, we're going to understand Tosfos.
What is your connection?
This Tosfos is talking about drinking the wine. Tell me
Correct.
drinking the wine is the hardest disaster.
Why not? You drink 4 cups of wine.
To put water in the wine is the hardest disaster. To lean is the hardest disaster. The wine itself, just like Chazal said, Kacheo, just like Chazal when we're talking, that when Chazal understood that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said Zohar, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu only means the bed, therefore we add wine, because that's what we understood that that's what the Rosh of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So to when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said Zohar, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu said Zohar, but then we add wine. That's one thing. That has nothing to do with the hardest disaster. The hardest disaster means put water in the wine. It means lean. It doesn't say anywhere that the Heseva, it doesn't say anywhere Yayin by the hardest disaster. The whole Shabbat Kohen comes in just by the wine, not by the Heseva, not by the Yayin Mosud. That's the point.
I don't understand exactly what you're saying. I'm very close to understand, I think, what you're saying. And I don't argue with you. If I understand correctly what you're saying, he's saying that Toys is saying that Kiddush and 4 cups are the same. That's what Toys says. I know that. I know that. But we're going to ask a question that are not similar. We're going to prove in many cases they're not similar. And the answer will be they are similar, but in what way, in what context? This is what we want to do. Yes.
Where in history the Pesach says, where is this Haya? Where did it happen?
The story of Kuf Vov Amud Beis, Amud Aleph.
He didn't say that yet.
I know, but he brings down Kidei Mashma. He said, oh, like we've heard, like a Mashma, the story of how he came to the city, and he was saying Kiddush, and and his old man went bending down for his cup to drink. So it's Mashma that everyone had their own cup. From that story, I can learn that was the custom that everyone has his own cup. And if that was the custom, must be that's the halacha. I said, understand, he's not a guy because it happened to be that they had a cup, and this old man was waiting for the cup. Happened to be. Who said that's the reality? So it says maybe everyone had, and if everyone had, maybe everyone needs his own cup. But without a cup, who says it works? That's only a push-off, it's a dechia. So now let's go back down. Yes. I know that, but we explained last week.
That shows that it's really one thing.
No. Mixed up. Not true at all. Wait. I cannot talk to you.
That's only a mix.
Okay, guys. Baruch Hashem, he's already puffed up. You know the sugi well. But a lot of people maybe don't know, so I'm going with stages. But Rabbi Israel, if you look in page 117b, Omar le Rav Chanon le Rova, Shma min ofikas amos tzich kois. And he told them, Arba koisos, tiknu rabbonon derech chevus, lekevan deikar, tiknu al kol chad mitzvah. Since there are already 4 cups, it's proper to do the mitzvahs. And one of them is Kiddush, and one of them is Birkas Hamazon, and one of them is Hallel, one of them is a Shiur. Each one is different. So they fixed the koisos on mitzvah, not because on mitzvahs, because 4 cups was to show freedom, and they fixed it on mitzvahs. One of them is Kiddush. So you can't say Abba kois is Kiddush, Abba kois is Chevus. They attach it to Kiddush.
It's not so simple.
I know it's not simple, but that's a simple way of reading the Gemara.
Why do you attach it to kids? How can you attach it to something else? If it has nothing to do with it, how can you attach it? Besides the fact that the Rambam says that
They said that the cup should be like mitzvah. They said put on mitzvahs. Kol chad ikon mitzvah. Each one has a mitzvah. One is mitzvah kiddush. It's not the cup and the drinking of the kiddush. It's the cup of Abba Koisos. You should attach it to the mitzvah of kiddush. The cup of the second cup should attach to the mitzvah of Birkas Hamazon. The cup of the third cup should attach it to Hallel, the mitzvah of secrets as Mitzrayim, the Aloha Hallel from the Rambam.
why does it say Zechariah Aliyah like Kiddush? Why does it say Zechariah Aliyah if it's not attached? If Kiddush is not attached to drinking.
That's a kind
Wait.
of
I know. Okay. Let's start with the kasha. I'm not. You already in the answer. I'm with the kasha. Guys, let's go over the question. The question is that Reb Chaim Halevi asked. Everyone has degrees. If not, let's spread it out. Everyone has degrees. So come spread it out. It's only 5-6 lines. Kasha of Reb Chaim in his answer. Listen to Siyata Dishmaya. Give it up. Give it up. He's giving up. I gave him up. Let's see the Reb Chaim's kasha. It's in here in the Greens, and the left-hand side.
Which one's the Greens?
Vanira. The Jews are on Greens on it. It's on the first page, in the left-hand side column, the second paragraph. Vanira. Vanira. Vanira lo yimar. Look inside. Vanira lo yimar bebiu adovo. He says, I want to explain this concept. He makes some achloikis between the Tosfot, Rosh against the Rabbi in this concept. Vanira lo yimar bebiu adovo. The be'emes trei mile ika be'achmitza d'arba koises. There are really two concepts, two things in the mitzvah of four cups. The in the batoises, he quotes our Tosfot. Reish Perek Arba Pesachim, beginning of the chapter, the 10th chapter. Alod etnan, what's written in the Mishnah statement. There is a statement in the Mishnah. Lo ifchatu lo arba koisois. They should not give him less than 4 cups, the poor person. Vekosru, and he quotes Tosfot. Mitoch halashon mashma k'tzat. From the language you can infer a little bit. She'noisim lebonom lebeisoi kiim le'atzmo. You don't give him, only for himself, 4 cups. And he exempt all of them. Everybody has? You don't have? Not but something here. He quotes Tosfot. מתוך הלשון משמע קצת שנותנים לבונם ולבייסוקים לעצמו והוא מוציא כולם בשלום. The simple language teaches us that you only give the balabai, the poor person, 4 cups and he exempts everybody else in the house. Vesvoro, this is svoro. The maishna arba koises mikiddush kol hashana. What's the difference between 4 cups and kiddush the whole year? The she'echad motzis kulam won't exempt everyone. Vegvar shamati me'admor agon zatzal. I already heard from my father, Reb Chaim Halevi. The Gri says, I heard from my father, Reb Chaim Halevi. I asked him, you heard a kasha. Shetomo adin ratais. Reb Chaim Halevi are a kasha on Tosfot. What's this kasha? The my inyan arba koises the kiddush kol hashana. What's the comparison between 4 cups and kiddush of the whole year? The osam there by kiddush of the whole year. A mitzvah bracha, the mitzvah is the blessing. V'zeikar kiddush, this is the main of the kiddush. Ubozeh avedin, in this we have the law. The Shomei HaKohen, Chaim already said this. He says by kiddush, they have a rule that one can exempt everybody else. Why? He says a svara to it. Because there the mitzvah is the blessing itself. That's the main of the kiddush. The main thing of the kiddush is to sanctify the Shabbos, to bless the Shabbos. With words. Betvorim. Just has to be on a cup, an important drink. Ubazeh avedin Shomei HaKohen, and that we have a law of Shomei HaKohen. Aval v'arba koises, but in 4 cups. Alo yikar ha-mitzvah ashtiyah, the main mitzvah in the 4 cups is the drinking. Shal arba koises. Umay shaykh lo yitzu bazeh, what does it apply? How can you exempt anybody else with that? That's his point. That's his kasha of Chaim Halevi. Again, let's go over the question. The question, this is what Rabbi Saul is trying to push an answer and give an answer to this question. So let's go over what's the kasha. The problem on the table is, and I want today with the help of Hashem to go in depths of it, to break it to pieces, the parts, and really understand there's a lot of parts here. And can we say all different ways, we can juggle all ways. I want to show today that there's no, the sky is open. This is my goal today with the help of Hashem. We'll see something. Let's see. Comes Reb Chaim Halevi, and he says, I don't understand the comparison between kiddush and 4 cups. Why? Because by kiddush, I'm not there to drink wine. I don't want to drink wine. I want to bless the Shabbat. So I'm using the cup of wine to bless the Shabbat, to sanctify the Shabbat with words. More than that, the Mogen Avram says, in davening, if I said, Kedusha Shabbos vayechulu, and I say somebody good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, I'm in the Yoitze, the Kiddush Midoraisa. Because Kiddush from the Torah is on words. To sanctify the Shabbos, to say Shabbat Shalom. Vayechulu HaShamayim in davening, in our prayers, we say Vayechulu HaShamayim. If you have Kahonah to Yoitze, the Kiddush, you Yoitze, the Kiddush Doraisa. Okay, side part, place. But the concept is, you can sanctify the Shabbat with words. That's the Ikar Mitzvah. And you say Yitzias Mitzrayim, so Yoitze, it means Mitzrayim of Kiddush. You don't need a cup of wine. The cup of wine, it's only a means to, a hechsher. I need to say a bracha, just with words. So the rabbi said, let's say the bracha on something important, an important drink. It has to be a wine. Wine is an important drink.
Does it become
Very important drink. So then, if a wine is an important drink, you say a bracha on the wine, and then what? Do you need to drink it? Somebody needs to drink it? If somebody doesn't drink it, so then the problem is the blessing in vain? So it's only a problem of the blessing in vain? Or it's a problem that it blemishes, it's a shame for the blessing? Oh, so we saw Rashi it's printed here in the papers. Everyone has the Rashi Ne'evim. Open Rashi Ne'evim. It's on the other page, the other group of pages. It says there, on Motzei Shabbos, if Motzei Shabbos falls into Yom Kippur, Yom Kippur falls on Motzei Shabbos. So one who blesses needs to taste, the Gemara says. You cannot do Avdallah, because one who blesses needs to taste. How can he taste? It's Yom Kippur now. It's Motzei Shabbos. You can't. You can't drink, it's Yom Kippur. You can't. So therefore you can't do Avdallah. You wait till Motzei Yom Kippur. You postpone Avdallah to Sunday night. So the Gemara says, "V'amevorech tzorich she'itom." One who blesses needs to taste. He can do Avdallah on Motzei Shabbos when it's Yom Kippur. The Gemara asks, literally, you could give it to a child, to a baby. Leis ilchas hakavach adin basel Israel. We're afraid that he's going to be attached to that later on when he grows up. He thinks he'll have to drink on Yom Kippur. Okay, that's a side piece. But we want to know, we want to learn the concept of Kiddush. Okay, from this Rashi, we want to learn the concept of Kiddush. Guys, we want to learn from this Rashi the concept of Kiddush. Okay?
Over here it's a kosher bracha, not
Here we're talking about kosher bracha. It's Avdallah. It's Avdallah.
No, Avdallah and Kiddush.
It's the same. Avdallah and Kiddush is the same. He sanctified the Shabbos when it enters, and he separated the Shabbos when it goes out.
Well, that's what they say. That's what the Rambam holds.
Okay. Not going to follow that. It's true. That's a true statement. We're going to learn in the next 2 months, if we have to. The next 6 pages of Gemara, that's what we discuss. All the halachas of Kiddush and Avdallah, the same. Let's leave it as a given. Okay? So let's go continue on. The Gemara says here, let's give it to a child. Let's give it to a child to drink. So Rashi says, give it to a child to drink after he blesses it. The Aish Itum the Koma, the law that says one who blesses needs to taste, La Dafka Koma is not specifically Amevorech, is on one who blesses. Dua Din Kishote Achin is aiming if others drink it. The Tamo, Mishum, the Gnai Lukesha Broch, it's a shame for a couple blessing. Shelo Yedo Domimenu La'atar, that no man will enjoy right away. Shetie Birkas Hayayin Bol Pei HaGofen Shel Yitzchak, that the blessing of Bol Pei HaGofen will be not in vain. So, not for a need. So, if you look carefully at Rashi here defined for us how Kiddush and Avdallah works, Kosher Bracha works. He says, my goal, I want to bless. I want to bless the Chatanim, the husband and wife, when getting married. Say, bye, Kriyat Gofen. Kiddushim, the blessed Kiddushim. Does the person that says that Kiddushim needs a drink, he only gives the husband Kal to drink?
He doesn't need to drink.
Doesn't need to drink. Right? You ever saw the rabbi drink? Rabbi don't need to drink. Some rabbis machmir, you don't even drink. Why? Or you do kiddush. You do avdol. Chatchila you should drink, but if you can't,
Give it to someone else.
you can give it to somebody else. Why? Because the Gnai L'Kosher Bracha, it's shame for a cup of a blessing that no man will enjoy right away. That the blessing in wine will be for non need. So the reason why you need to drink it is not because if you're not going to drink it, the blessing of Birkas Hanenim and Birkas Hayayin will be in vain. That's not the goal, because the birth was not Birkas Hanenim. You didn't drink it to enjoy, you drink it to bless the Shabbos. Happened to be on a cup. You can say good Shabbos, sanctify the words. And the rabbis fix it on a cup. Should be a kosher bracha. So the cost is, what is it? This is very important what we're going to talk about. What is it? The cup is a tifora, just a situation. In front of me, when I bless the people, because koyanim, I have to have 10 Jews. If nobody's there, how can I bless? Well, I bless who? So the cup is what? The cup is part of the blessing. The cup is, I'm saying, boy, I want to drink the cup, or I'm saying, boy, because I'm blessing the Shabbat. We have two blessings. We say Mekadesh HaShabbos and Birkas HaGofen. So Birkas HaGofen is being said adjacent together with the Birkas of Shabbos. So now, Rashi defines to us, and he says, it's a shame for the kosher bracha if I sanctify the Shabbos on a cup of blessing, if nobody drinks it right away, nobody enjoys it right away, that the blessing of Birkas will be not for a need. But it's not a relationship of a blessing in vain, because I'm not blessing to drink. I'm blessing to sanctify the Shabbos. But it's a gnai, it's a blemish in the kosher bracha. How can I sanctify the Shabbat on a cup that nobody drank from it? Nobody enjoyed it. If nobody enjoyed, so what's a problem? The blessing is in vain? No. The kosher bracha, it's a gnai. It's a shame for the cup of bracha. Wait a second. But what about Birkas HaGofen? The halacha is you're not allowed to enjoy this world without a bracha. It's true, but it's not what I'm doing here. I'm not drinking wine here. I'm not drinking wine. I need to make a bracha in order to drink. To ask Hashem permission not to steal. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying a bracha, but if they don't know what to drink, my goal is not to drink b'chlal. I want to bless the Chosin and Kala. I want to bless the Shabbos. Not to drink. Some people love to drink, man, but it's not the goal. The goal is not to drink. Maybe you love it, but it's not what you want. That's not what you're doing here. You sanctify the Shabbat out of the cup. And it's a shame for the cup of bracha that nobody enjoyed it right away, adjacent to the bracha. Nobody enjoyed it because the bracha b'mavim comes out and loy letzoyeh. So the bracha b'mavim, it's a side thing. It's a happened to me. It wasn't letzoyeh, but it's not a problem that both is not letzoyeh. Both letzoyeh means that it's a gnai for kosher bracha, but the subject matter is kosher bracha.
But they're still connected. You can't, just because that's the it's still connected. You can't disconnect them.
What?
You can't disconnect the law. You have to.
No. I want to explain a little bit more clear. This is, guys, what I didn't explain during the week. I want to explain this a little bit more. If kosher bracha also have Birkas Hanenim both, can I do Birkas Hanenim somebody else enjoy? If it was both, like you want to say, or not you can concept, if it's both, you can't. Because I can say, boy, I ate and you eat the apple. If I say the bracha, I need to eat. So if it's both, the whole Rashi should be erased. It's not both. It's only one. It's only Birkas, it's only kosher bracha, which is a shame that he made a kosher bracha that no man enjoyed it right away, that the bracha of Birkas would not be for a need.
It's only Takanas Chazal.
Talk about the Pesach.
No, but here they weren't attacking. Because here they weren't attacking. That's not a problem.
The one that physically is going to drink it, he needs to make a bracha. Because he's enjoying it. You have to have Birkas Hanenim. But it's not what I'm doing. Wait a minute, I'm trying to say. I want to just summarize before you guys ask a question. I want to get to what I'm saying. If I said kosher bracha and somebody else drank it, What did I do? I did kiddush or not? I did kiddush. The other guy enjoyed it. He needs to have a bracha, so he needs to say amen in order to permit him to eat.
That's not kiddush.
But that's not what I was doing.
It's only
Happened to me that if I will drink it, I'm not to drink unless I'm not to enjoy unless I make a bracha. But that's not what I'm doing. It's not what the rabbis told me. If I can, let's say, say kiddush without drinking, somebody else drinking, and the because somebody else hear from this Gemara. Because in this Gemara, listen. In this Gemara, somebody else is enjoying it. So the because something is on him, and I did kiddush.
It's not true because it's only a takanas chazal. You can't make a bracha for somebody else to enjoy. And here, chazal weren't metakin. So there's no thing that.
No, I know that. I know that, Rosh.
So
I know. Listen, but that's not the point. It's not the point. It's not the point. It's not the point. No, because if it was needed by me, in takanas chazal to have because I too, I cannot give it to somebody else. That's the point. Yes, God.
why not?
I read this morning, so please tell me if I misunderstood this, but the Rambam says here, he who hears any blessing from beginning to end with the intent to fulfill his obligation to recite that blessing has fulfilled his obligation, even if he has not responded amen. Whoever responds amen after the blessing that has been said is in the same category with the reciter, provided that the latter was under the obligation of saying such a blessing.
You give me too quick the last one. Without an Tziyon man, the shomei kohen. Then what?
Whoever responds amen after the blessing has been said is in the same category with the reciter, provided that the latter was under the obligation of saying such a blessing. If the reciter's obligation was only rabbinical, while the respondent's was scriptural, the latter does not fulfill his duty unless he responds amen or listens to the recital scriptural obligation. So if it's rabbinic, the person can say the blessing. You can say the blessing.
Yes.
And I can eat without responding amen.
No.
This is what it says here.
What's it saying? You talking about birkas hanenim here or brachos?
It's just talking about blessings of food or
You
whatever.
talking about food or blessings?
Blessings that are rabbinic, whether it's food or anything else, food or like wine or.
No. You look carefully in the whole chapter.
Okay.
You mean blessings and birkas hanenim, two different things.
So,
Yes.
back to the Chaim's Kasha, what
Let's go over to the Chaim's Kasha now. So now we understand the Chaim's Kasha very well, or better. He's saying like this. By Kiddush, the blessings is the Kiddush. The drinking has nothing to do with the Kiddush. You need to bless, even with words. It happens to be on wine, because the rabbi said it should be an important wine. The enjoying of the wine can be somebody else, and has to be very adjacent to my blessing. Otherwise, it's a shame for my blessing of a blessing on the cup that nobody in the world enjoyed it right away. But the enjoyment is nothing to do with the blessing of the cup. It's just to be on the cup. And if I said bracha on the cup, somebody needs to enjoy it, otherwise it would be a shame to the bracha because of course. And if somebody else enjoys it, so he has a birkas hanenim and he has the birkas hanenim to himself to exempt it. And since I said, say amen and drink it, he has birkas hanenim. But I have kiddush, and kiddush nothing to do with it. I can have also birkas hanenim at the same time. But I can separate it, and I still do yoytze the kiddush. Kiddush is birkas hakos. It's bracha hakos. So now, let's go by us. Toises made a comparison between arba koisos and kiddush. What's the comparison of Chaim HaLevi asks? By kiddush, let's read the words inside to be more exact. Let's open the Chaim HaLevi again. And I read the Chaim HaLevi's Kasha. Shetoma divra toises. He wondered on the words of Tosfot. There's no comparison between 4 cups and kiddush of the whole year. The osama mitzvah there by kiddush the mitzvah is a bracha. The mitzvah is to bless. V'zeu ikar kiddush. It's very careful in the word. That's the main of the kiddush. What about tnoim, tofel, conditions? But the ikar of the kiddush is the bracha. Ubozeh v'dino the shomei kohen. The shomei kohen, the law of what you read in the Rambam. When I hear, it's like I answer. This halacha of shomei kohen refers to the ikar, not to the tofel.
What's the ikar? What's the tofel?
Tofel means main, and tofel means minor. The main subject of kiddush is to bless. Cup and enjoyment, it's minor. What's the proof? You can separate it, give it to somebody else. If I don't separate it, I'm doing it. So it's a minor. It's a minor, it's part of it, but it's not necessarily as the main, because I can separate it. So that's what he defines it as ikar and tofel. Main and minor. That's a definition of Reclining in this kasha. So he says, by birkas of kiddush, the main bracha, the main thing is a bracha. The main thing of kiddush is a blessing.
Therefore,
And therefore, that's the analogy. It's very important for the Chazon Ish. Therefore, the analogy is that when I do the law of Shana Koine, goes on the main, not on the minor,
And the bracha.
on the bracha. Now, what about the minor? I need to have. There's also a minor of enjoyment. Can I transfer enjoyment through listening? No, because bikasaneni midoraisa yes. I was the Rosh. But midrabanon from the rabbis. If I don't enjoy it, I cannot make a bracha. If I don't enjoy it, I cannot make a bracha. So if the one that said the bracha didn't enjoy it, I enjoy it, he cannot make a bracha for me. So I need to use what? I need to use Shomei HaKoine. How can I use Shomei HaKoine, the drinking of Bikasaneni? I can maybe transfer the bracha of Shomei HaKoine. But how can I transfer the Bikasaneni when he's not drinking and I'm drinking and I want to use his bracha for me? So true, for the main it works, but for the minor it doesn't work. Main can drag the minor. Says that I can understand. It's built in the kappa.
Why are you so complicated?
What?
Why are you so complicated?
Because I want to say that it's out. Yes.
That's
Side
what
is that you have to drink.
That's what Chazon
The other side is you have to drink.
Yes.
The other side, one side is from Tosos is the bracha,
Yes.
and now we have a din of Shomei HaKoine.
Yes.
But the simple understanding of Rav Chaim was that you have to drink four kosos, so it's not shy to Shomei HaKoine. Everybody has to drink.
Yeah, but
You can't go see somebody and drinking. It's like a
Rabbi Bell, why did Reb Chaim Halevi have to talk about ikar? What do you have to use of those words?
Because you still have to drink, even if you say it, the mitzvah is the bracha.
Not true. We
You have to
saw
drink.
Rashi.
Somebody has to drink.
Somebody, and you can't drink it. It's not done with me. It's not part of it.
That's also a.
It's just a technical thing that in order to make a bracha on a cost, somebody, in order that the bracha should not be in vain, it should not be a gnai for the cost. Somebody has to drink it.
Okay.
You have to drink it. You have to make it because but because the name is a technical thing that is around, but it's not part of it. So why says iko? Say it's not part of it. Just split with a very sharp Japanese knife. Bring the Rashi and Eruv in Daf Mem and Rashi in Daf Kuf Amud Beis. It's always our suda. The next suda we didn't learn it yet. And Daf Kuf Amud Beis. Open the Gemara Daf Kuf Amud Beis. The Gemara said that one who says kiddush in the synagogue, everybody goes home. The one who says the kiddush in the synagogue is exempt the kiddush, but he's not exempt the wine. So Rashi says, what do you say the wine? Which wine are you talking about? Kiddush and wine is one thing. He says, no. If he goes home and he wants to drink wine, he says, Birkas Hanenim has to be Bor B'Agofen. So he cannot use the Bor B'Agofen of Birkas Hanenim Kiddush in the synagogue for the house because there was a separation of going away. And some people know it's not separation. Kiddush V'Makam. But what do we see from Rashi? The same thing. Rashi defines that the Birkas Bor B'Agofen of enjoyment, when you enjoy wine, has nothing to do with Kiddush. Two different things. Just technically has to be there. Reb Chaim Halevi didn't say that. He said Iko. Why he said the word Iko? That's the whole problem here we're talking about. The whole Shiur Kloli, I want to say all the Chazon Ish and Mr. Bure, we're going to see B'ezrat Hashem soon.
Because everybody needs the Iko.
No, but the question is it mischaber to a tofel? Is there some kind of a connection? Or just technically happens to be this there?
For me to be like the kiddush, I don't need the tafel, I only need the Iko. So you can do the Iko for me.
It's not like they're drinking.
If
Yeah.
I need this
When I say Iko, when I say main and minor, the minor is part of the main.
But I don't need the minor.
You don't need.
No, I don't. To be like the kiddush, if the Rosh Yeshiva is making kiddush and I don't have anything, I'm just listening, all I need is the Iko. Not the minor part of the
Good. That's what I'm saying. But it's not what Chaim is saying.
I said that.
No, he said, if I don't need, wait. And the one who blesses needs the minor.
What?
One who makes the blessing himself, he needs the minor. One who does kiddush needs the minor.
He needs it, but not me.
I don't need it. Not true.
I don't need the minor.
I also don't need it. Why say minor Ika and Tov? It just doesn't exist. That's not the mitzvah.
Als Gnai, you need it. Als Gnai, you need it, but.
What?
Als Gnai, that you shouldn't be mevazed the place.
Right.
You need it. But now it's the Kiddush. Als the Ika
Wait. If it's not if it's mixing up. Gnai of kosher bracha is not because of any. You don't need because of any. It's Gnai of kosher bracha, but has nothing to do with because of any. Don't tell me right when he says Iker and Tofel means that the Tofel of Bikasaneni is called Tofel. Let's read the word inside. Let's see what he says. The awesome. Let's read the word again.
He doesn't say like the country.
Let's see. He was very careful with his word. The words of rabbis are very short and exact.
He didn't say like the other guys drink.
Let's see what he says. The awesome, they are reading again the Reb Chaim Alevi.
What's the first word on the line?
First word on the line, Eilu.
Is what?
Eilu.
Ava, yeah.
The awesome there by Kiddush. In the second paragraph in the left columns, 2, 4, 6, 8 lines from the beginning of the second paragraph in the left column. Guys, you inside what I'm talking about? You learned with me the whole week, so you know the subject, right? So now read careful. Let's read careful what he says. The awesome there by Kiddush. A mitzvah hi a bracha. By Kiddush, the mitzvah is the blessing itself. V'zeu ikar Kiddush. This is the main of the.
Not the other one.
Let me finish. V'zeu ikar Kiddush. This is the main of the Kiddush. And this I have the law of Shomei HaKoyne.
All I need is the Ikar. I don't need the deed of the Gnai.
But Behava Koisos, Alo Ikar HaMitzvah Shtia. The main mitzvah is the drinking.
You can't drink for me.
Shel Arba Koisos are 4 cups. The main thing by 4 cups, the main part of the mitzvah is the drinking.
And you can't do that for me.
It's not the blessings.
Because the blessing I can hear.
Okay.
The Shmiya doesn't help.
How can I drink for you?
In the Lokas,
Why not? I cannot drink for you.
I can only drink.
Because drinking is enjoyment, physical. So how can I enjoy for you? So let's go over the Kash. Rabbi, let's go over. Reb Chaim Alevi in his Kash already told us everything. In his Kasha was that there's no comparison between Kiddush and 4 cups. He defines that by Kiddush, the Ikar of Kiddush is the bracha. And on that I have the law from Yakoine.
Because it's Shmiya. Shmiya and bracha is under the Dibu.
I have, and the Ikar Kiddush is the bracha. And on that I have from Yakoine.
Because Shmiya goes to Dibu.
Very good, very good. But by 4 cups, the Ikar of the mitzvah is the drinking. So how can I transfer drinking of mine to you? You only heard the blessings,
And I heard the
but you feel the drinking. You drink. So how you can't transfer that. Wait, hold on. Wait, I want to add. My goal is to add one more point. And I already said it, but I said people shoving their pshat. So I'm going to remove that. No. By Kiddush, when I transfer Shomak Oine, the Ikar Kiddush, right? Wait a second. And I drank, or he drank. Wait. So, if he drinks, do I need to transfer the drinking of him to me? The Mevorach blessed. Did it transfer to drinking?
No.
The blessing of Kiddush or the blessing of
It's only
Which
thing the bracha
blessing?
shouldn't be a Gnai.
According to the Chaim, no. According to Chazon Ish, yes.
Wait. When I say Ikar and Tofel, so the Tofel needs to be transferred. Since I transfer the Ikar and I have to make money on that, so the whole package passes through. Oh no, I don't pass a Bichlal. Don't call it Tofel, call it a technical, technique. Has to be there. From Reb Chaim he calls it Ikar, is mashma that the drinking is a Tofel to the Kiddush. Tofel means minor. Secondary to the Kiddush. Is it 0? It's just adjacent to it? It's not needed? Is it technical there? The Chaim HaLevi used the word Ika. That's what I want to say. Why the Rabbi Chaim HaLevi is defining it as Ika? Now,
It's not needed for the
let's see the Chazon Ish inside.
It might be
It's
easier
not needed for the Kiddush. It's
if
needed
you
for
said
the nine.
primary and secondary, because it's very hard for me at least to remember the difference between these two words like right now.
Primary means Ika.
I think so.
Ika.
The primary is the first, the upper one, and then secondary would be the second.
Second to the thing, right. So if Rabbi Chaim HaLevi defines the blessing as the Ika, the main, primary, and the drinking as Tofel, secondary, it's not out of it. There's nothing to do with it. It happens to be that it's there. And if somebody else drinks it, a third guy drinks it, and I answer the main to his Kiddush, I'm Yosef's Kiddush, he did Kiddush, and somebody else drank it. But we did Kiddush.
Chaim is very meduyek. He said that the whole mitzvah is only the bracha, he says. He doesn't call the mitzvah of drinking.
Chaim or the Greece?
Chaim. The Greek.
Let's see.
He says,
Voichiach mi zeh. I want to read it. Do we have the Chazon Ish? Rabbi Shlomo, did you print the Chazon Ish?
No,
You did?
Before that,
Could the Rosh Yeshiva be the guy, the word before the he
Yes,
said,
yes.
the Hasam mitzvah.
Wait. I don't want to mix the people. Just one second.
No, I'm talking about what the Yeshiva read.
I just read the Kasha.
Right. In the Kasha, he says the mitzvah is only the key, the bracha. There's nothing else besides the mitzvah of bracha, he says. When he talks about the ceremony has Ikar double, but the mitzvah of Kiddush is only the bracha. The Hasam mitzvah, yeah, bracha. Now, the Ikar double is not going to the mitzvah, it's going on the ceremony. On the whole.
So why he says by Kiddush, Abba says Ikar HaMitzvah?
Ikar is going on the whole ceremony.
No, continue on. 2 lines after.
Yeah.
About Abba Koisois.
Right. So over there, the Ikar.
What does he say?
Ikar mitzvah.
Ikar Mitzvah. Why do they use Ikar Mitzvah?
Ikar mitzvah is only the shtir.
You don't have to worry.
And what is a Tofel?
If you didn't say the
Bracha is
bracha.
the drinking.
No,
The bracha
It's the bracha.
The bracha.
It doesn't mean anything.
If I'm not, that doesn't mean to me anything. Maybe. But if you move the over his ruch, it's not. Yes.
it could be that Tosfos' point is the wine, not the drinking and not the mitzvahs. The wine is no gay to both mitzvahs, and therefore it's not kosher, Rabbeinu.
What does a wine mean? When you say
Wine
the word.
is
Wine is a factor. What does wine have to do with us?
What has to do is the Mishnah is talking about giving wine. It's a mitzvah tzedakah of giving wine to a
Right.
brother. The wine's no gayer to 4 cups, and it's no gayer to.
That's the Mishnah, but it's not the subject of Tosfot.
It is the subject. That's
No.
what he's talking about.
No. Tosfot wants to draw out from places a subject. Do I need to give each one 4 cups because
Cups of what? Wine.
of wine? Yes.
But
But what's the reason? But what's the doubt of Tosfot?
What?
Tosfot wants to draw from the language a subject.
And what's the subject?
Subject is, do I say by 4 cups can one exempt the other? That's the
No,
subject.
the subject is giving wine or not giving wine.
That's the Mishnah's subject.
That's Tosfos.
That's not Tosfot's subject.
He said give, don't say.
That's
Say,
not
ain't,
Tosfot's
don't say,
subject.
no,
Reb Chaim, I explain you why. Listen, please. I understand what you said. Let's say a person is rich. Do we need everyone to have 4 cups in the house, or one can do for everyone? Those are the same problem or not? That's the point. Tosfos' doubt has nothing to do with rich or poor. From the poor case, he wants to prove, even by a rich case.
How do you know that?
Because this is a svara of Kiddush, and he brings rayas of all Kiddush. He doesn't know about poor and rich ladies.
His whole point is the give the charity people giving wine.
No, that's the point of Tosfot, our Mishnah. That's not the doubt of Tosfot. The doubt of Tosfot is by all Kiddush. That's even the final line of Tosfot. And it seems to be strict to require to everyone and one umach has to be careful. It's not about a poor person. It's about even a rich person. Everyone in the house is a cup.
But it's talking about having wine to do what you need to do.
That's the point. There's nothing to do. It's only a proof from the concept of if I need to give somebody a poor guy, I have to give him the minimum. So from the fact what I need to give him, that proves what is the mitzvah.
Not necessarily.
That's
the
Tosfot's
mitzvah.
Okay. Let's go on. I want to see the Chazon Ish inside. Time is limited. Wow.
What's the right? That's the reading right in the story.
I will start, before we see the Chazon Ish, we'll say Bahar, because time is limited. How do we know Shomea Kohen? How do we know the concept listening is like answering? So it's a Gemara in Sukkah, page 38.
Answering what?
Shomea Kohen.
What is answering what?
Oh, what's the word answering should be? Listening is like speaking.
Well, yotzing or fulfilling.
Oh, if Shomea Yoitze, if I heard, I'm Yoitze. What is Shomea Kohen? This word doesn't fit to me. Let's see. Yes? Yes, I know. Itmar Lami, Omar Abishua ben Leib Mishuba Kapo. Minai lo Shomea Kohen. How do we know the one who hears like one who answers? The Chsiv, as it says, Es advorim asher kori Yishayahu. V'chi Yishayahu kron, v'lo shofan kron. The Chsiv ha'ikrohu, shofan skavon le'eil lifnei HaMelech. Ele mikan le'shomea kohen. Okay. From there we learn what happened. They found a Sefer Torah in the Beis HaMikdash, and they read it. Shaphan, the scribe of the king, read inside, and it says the king read it.
Is this mamas against the Chazon Ish?
Wait, that's what I'm trying to
How can
explain.
you say Kala? How can you say the king read it? Say it.
Wait, that's the reason I'm bringing it. That's the reason. Listen. It says, those words that Yeshayahu read, it's Advorim Asher Kori Yeshayahu. That's what it says. It says, Shaphan read all those words, and those words that Yeshayahu read. Shaphan read. What do you mean those words Yeshayahu read? When Shaphan read, and Yeshayahu the king heard, Shaphan was the minister of the king. And he found a Sefer Torah in the temple, and he took it out, and he read in front of Yeshayahu. And it says, those words Yeshayahu read. Yeshayahu didn't read it, Shaphan read it for him. The answer must be, one who hears is like one who answers.
Like Bedin? But it says Kala. That means Bedin or it means really read? Really?
Okay. So now, wait a second, I just want to explain the concept. So listening is like hearing, or listening is like speaking, listening is like thinking. We have a couple of concepts in Shas. We have a concept called Hiu Kedibu, thinking is like speaking. You have Shomea, one who listens is like one who speaks, like one who answers. So, how do you explain those two concepts? So there's many explanations to it. On one foot, thinking means in my mind I think. It's like I speak. Shomea, somebody else speaks. It's like me answering. Shomea means hearing.
It's hearing, not speaking.
No, Shomea, when I hear, keoneh, like I'm answering. Keoneh. So it doesn't say Shomea, it's like medaber. By thinking, I'll say hiu kedibu. But hearing, I hear somebody else, it's like I answer them. So by Hallel, we need to answer after the person reads. You have to repeat. So it fits the word Shomea Kohen. I hear what this Chazan says. It's like I answer after him. Hallelujah. I repeat. Kol God, a loud voice. Reading the Torah, I have to read the Torah loud. I hear, it's like I read myself. It's like oina, it's not only when I hear, it's like I speak. It's like I read. Read is reading from inside writings. Okay. So now, what really the concept Shomea Kohen, how does it work, really depends on our understanding and our episode. It's very important. How does really Shomea Kohen works? So Rashi says here in Masechet Sukkah, if you look inside, Mikan Shomea Kohen, Hu oime bo chabo, it's been lined, underlined. Hu oime bo chabo, v'oime b'shem Hashem. The Chazan in Hallel says bo chabo, and they answer b'shem Hashem. So the Imam says, from here we learn Shomei HaKohanim. Ubebo chabo somchim alav, bo chabo we rely on him. Then oinim lo atei vois atzmon v'lo alaluka. They don't answer the word themselves, and not the word alaluka. Mikan nilmad, from here we learn, l'she'en yodeh alalukas v'lo la'anois, ishoma v'kimen libo l'shmoa, ava b'shalo ono yotzo. If somebody cannot answer, and he has an intention to hear, even though he didn't say anything, he's exempt. Also, shliach amenu of davening, Rashi says. And I hear the shliach tzibur in kedusha, I can stay silent, listen to the kedusha, and as if I answered kedusha. But I can't speak in the middle of my prayer, so it's not like speaking, but it's like answering him, repeating after him. It's not really speaking. It's really speaking as a headset. Okay, this is what Rashi says. So what do we see from this Rashi? We see from this Rashi that when I hear, it's like I answer his words, and Alleluia means I agree to him, and I praise Hashem with it. It's not only the physical words. Rashi says, "Es amilos atzmon." This is the language of Rashi. Then oinim lo atevos atzmon. One who hears did answer the words himself. Velo Alleluia. Alleluia is not the words himself. Alleluia is what? What is Alleluia? What? Praise Hashem. So when you praise Hashem, I'm not repeating your words. I say, oh, those words are being used to praise Hashem. So it's an understanding. So we see from Rashi that in the concept of Shomei HaKohanim, I don't only transfer the words that you says, if I agree to it, I can also transfer the meaning. Hallelujah. That's what Rashi says. When you say Kiddush, when you read the Megillah, and you're reading from inside the writings, you can't say about there, you have to read it from inside the book. So can I transfer not only the words you're saying, can I transfer the concept you're reading from words? You're reading words from words, written words on a piece of parchment? If you need to say loud, Bikas Kohanim has to be kolom, has to be loud. Can I transfer, when I listen to Bikas Kohanim, I say Amen. Can I transfer the blessing, not only the words themselves, also the phonetic, the vocal, how do you say it? The tzibulim? Volume. Oh, the volume, can I transfer the volume of the words? Can I transfer the meaning of the words? The situation of the words? Rashi here says, like my Hallel, I transfer the words themselves, and I also transfer Alleluia. Alleluia is not the words themselves. Alleluia is the meaning. What is he doing? He's saying praises to Hashem. So as if I said Alleluia, and I did my share, even though I don't know how to speak, and I need to say it by Hallel, and I didn't say it, I just heard his words. It's as if I said it. It works. How does it work? How does this work? Because I say Ika and Tofel. I say the main is the word themselves. And then when I hear, it's like I answer. If I answer all the Tnoim, or I will say all the Tofel, I can call it Tnoim means conditions. I can call it Tofel minor. All the minor things get transferred. The meaning gets transferred. The halachas get transferred. Oh no, I separate them. So now let's go back to Kiddush. By Kiddush, when somebody does Kiddush and he drinks it himself, and I answer Omeinu, I have intention to listen to this Kiddush. What do I transfer? I transfer the words. I transfer the situation, the words on a cup. But the cup is a cup. I can't. The cup is the reality. He has the cup. He's holding the cup.
We said for life. So life is the one.
Wait. I just want to explain. Before drinking, I'm not talking about drinking. I'm talking about you bless Hashem. I can bless Hashem with words. Baruch atah Hashem. I can bless Hashem on a cup. So we say, I'm not talking about the drinking of the cup and the pleasure of the drinking the wine in the cup. I'm talking about blessing Hashem on a situation where it's an important blessing because has a cup there standing that somebody's going to drink. So I'm praising Hashem on a cup. and the cup is nearby. It's right here in front of me. Do I transfer this valued blessing to me? I just transfer the words.
All the situation.
Or the situation. Which means, even that's a huge. Shomer Kohen, I would say, maybe I just transfer the word. Mekadosh Shabbos, good. I did Kiddush Midoraisa because I bless Hashem with words. But I didn't do Kiddush Midorabanan, which has a situation of kosher bracha. That the situation has to be that you bless Hashem in a cup of a blessing. That I cannot transfer, no. Shomer Kohen can transfer also the situation. Also the meaning.
So you both is no ice.
So now both of me don't ice. The one who said Kiddush on a cup of wine is Yoyte Doraisa. One who hears, Shomer, hears, is like answering, not only I'm saying I said the word, I said the word on a situation of a cup. Oh no. I want to say Muslim. This is the Kiddush of the day. The Kiddush of the day, or no? I did transfer to the words. But in my mind, I said the words on this cup. So I have a situation. Wait a second. Can two people say each one a bracha on one cup? Or no? Machloikes Kiveiger and Mishnah. The Biyun says yes. He brings a Gois Mordechai that when a child says a bracha, an adult just wants to say words after word after the child, and the child is holding the cup. In my mind, when I say the bracha, Baruch, he said Baruch, I teach the child, I say Baruch, he says Baruch. But I want to be Yotzei Birkas Kiddush, and the child wants to do Kiddush. But the child cannot exempt me, because he's a child, I'm Midoraisa, and he's rabbinic. So he cannot transfer it. So I say it with words, he says and I said, but he's holding the cup. So he has a cup and he said a bracha. I'm saying a bracha without a cup. Somebody else has a cup. Reb Kiva says a zero because I don't have a cup. How can I transfer the cup? Wait a second. But the child will drink it. The child will drink it. Say him, I'm relying on him. And he said the Kiddush and then I transfer to me. It's okay. Because he said a completo Kiddush and I was on a cup of wine. And after I transfer, I want to transfer the situation, the bracha, who my transfer was complete. With a situation that transferred to me, it's okay. But if I only want to transfer the bracha, I'm sorry. I don't transfer the bracha because I said the words, I'm an adult, and he's a child, and he said the words, we both said the words. I only want to transfer the situation that he's holding a cup to me. Can I do that or not? The Mishnah says yes. Because as long in my das, you understand what I'm talking? As long in my das I have on the cup of somebody else, a cup that the child is holding nearby, and I said a blessing on my own, it's okay. So now we have opposition to Rashi. Rashi said that I can say Kosher Boch, I say Kiddush, and I give the Birkas Hanedim to somebody else. But when I said the Kiddush, the cup was under me. So I said a Boch of Kiddush, and the situation of Kosher Bracha, there was a cup here, because I was holding the cup. So when I said the Kiddush, I had a cup in my hand. So I was saying a blessing, an important blessing, because the cup was in my hand. The physical drinking went to somebody else. Now we say opposite. Now we say that I said Kiddush, not a cup. But the child next to me is holding a cup. And I teach it, says, Baruch, he says, Baruch. Ato. Baruch Ne'oven, he said, Baruch Ne'oven. And the child drinks. And I don't drink. I say my own bracha, I'm Yotzei. Wait a second, what happened? I'm Yotzei what? I said a bracha, but where's my cup? My friend had a cup, but I can rely in my mind on his cup. What do you mean I can rely on my cup? I can rely, if he's Yotzei the whole Kiddush, and he has a situation of a cup, see that, I rely on him, and I transfer the bracha on the cup to me.
But he's a child.
But here, I want to transfer what? I made my own bracha, and I want to transfer just the situation of a cup. How can you transfer that? Reb Kiva says it's not possible. The Mishnah Berurah in Biyun Halacha brings him a goy smaller kind of you could. You can rely on a cup of somebody else. So what do we see is something amazing. Very amazing. That I can attach to a bracha, dika bocha. If I made a bracha, I can attach a child's cup to me. I can move around also the situation. Not only that it's combined a bracha with the situation that I did it fully, then I transfer to somebody else. The shayla is, how can I transfer? We see, okay, I could. Shomek, if I heard, it's like I'm answering. It's I repeat. And also the situation, what is he doing? Hallelujah. Also the Broch Hanukah, I can transfer. I rely on him, he did it, I get attached. How does it work? Chazoni says, because time is late, Chazoni says, I attach my shmiyah to his dibur. Mitzaref, you put together the shmiyah, my hearing, to his dibur. And his dibur was a complete dibur, because the Biyun on a cup was a not Samabor, was a Broch on a cup. I can transfer it. More than that, I would say. According to Mishnah Berurah, if you have a child saying a bracha, he has a cup. I said a bracha without a cup, and I want to know it to a third person, an adult. What happens? Don't give. I just want to extend the concept. So what I did is I made my own bracha. I relied on a cup with a child, and whoa! I transferred to the third guy that he brags on as a basket, kiddush, and a cup together.
Maybe there's no one to drink it.
And all the child will drink it. It's okay. Like we learned, child can drink it. Someone else can drink it. It was only technical. So I said, I break it to pieces totally. What?
Yeah, if there is a mitzvah in the guf,
Yes.
drinking wine can pass over mitzvah.
She said not that way.
No, so the child, now she says by kosher bracha.
What?
By kosher bracha, somebody else can drink it. Somebody else can drink
She
it.
says about on the cup.
As long as it was drank right away, lehalta is not a gnai. So let's go over what happened. What?
Someone says, bracha is kiras yadayim, and he doesn't wash his hands. Everyone is like everyone washes their hands.
No, because they have to remove the tumah. They didn't remove the tumah. They have to have a physical tumah. By the way, it has to do with Parshas Chukas. Reb Chaim Alevi, Reb Chaim Tzimmerman in his Sefer Biyun al Halacha, he has a chakir, he brings a whole midrashim. Is a tumah is just a halacha, gzeras hakosuv, or tumah is something physical. He brings certain midrashim, tumah is like shaving.
You said I didn't understand. You said a whole word sentence that you didn't translate.
Impurity, the concept of tumah.
Yeah.
Is it a law, or it's something physical, something spiritual, spirit we call it, something physical. Okay? From a lot of midrashim, it seems to be something physical. The Rambam, which is a rationale, says no, it's a law. It's a law, nothing to do with reality. I'm saying it's a shayla. So he says to me, if we're going to say something physical, somebody washed his hand and he said a bracha, he didn't remove my physical problem that I have with tumah on my hand. You can't do that. If it's only a halacha, maybe you could.
What's the difference in
Maybe, I don't know. It's a shayla.
How is a child different than an adult every Shabbos when we learn to every day? How is that big? Which point is it different?
So wait a second. So now, what?
The Rambam is asking that psychological. The Rambam says that it's based in love. The Rambam says that it's based in love and it's not in love.
Right.
What?
The Rambam is asking.
Okay, that's it.
The Rambam agrees that it's that there is a psychological. When you touch something dead, there's a psychological. Even a boy, even that doesn't have a deal with Kumah, it doesn't become Tomei. Psychologically, it's something real psychological.
Yeah.
We have a thing that we have to get. We're not allowed to cause the psychological problem.
Okay, good. Let's go back here, guys. Okay, that's a shine on the Ramah. The Ramah reads the sheet is. Okay, let's go back here. Our time is limited. You want to ask a question? Yes, Elisha. Yes. Yes.
Someone puts on tefillin and says a bracha.
Yes.
His friend gives the bracha.
Yes.
And he puts on tefillin.
On his own.
On his own.
Yes.
The one who says the bracha cannot answer Kedusha or Kali. The one who hears the bracha called.
In the middle of the bracha?
No. Between Yad and Rosh. The one who
Again, one who said bracha and he put his strap on his own. The other one heard the bracha and he put it on his strap. So therefore, okay, so not going.
One who said can answer Kedusha because.
While he's strapping.
Yes, because the one who heard it could.
Okay, so shut. I'll explain this.
No, because he has a bracha from him anyways. He's not
What?
The one who hears.
Yes.
Is not going to bracha she'ena tzricha because he's his bracha. So maybe he could answer.
It's small, which means light, and it's not really it. Okay, good. Let's go back to us. Our time is this. Man?
The important person that you won't be. You want to help. Because that's what's the hefsek.
Okay, Tell you says as a doubt about it. Shema.
Into
hefsek, yes. Let's go back to us. Let's focus on what we say.
How does this help?
So this is, let's go back to us. Now, the Chaim Alevi's kasha was on Toysers. what's the dinyon between Arba Koises and Kiddush? No dinyon. The 4 cups, it's the Ika, the mitzvah there. The mitzvah there is the bracha. And the Ika and Kiddush is the bracha. It's not the drinking. So how can you so therefore I can transfer the bracha. But by 4 cups, the Ika of the mitzvah is the drinking. So how can you transfer drinking? Drink is a physical thing. That's a kind of Levi's kasha. And therefore he proves from Tosfot. Says I proves Muchan from Tosfot that they both are equal. Both, let's see the language. Umuchach boichiach means a proof of this. The Smigla Teshtes holds the Gaba Bakoisos and Ikar Amitzvah Shtias Akoisos. Rak Babachot Shal Akoisos. That proves that even by 4 cups, is not the main mitzvah in drinking of the cups, just in the blessings of the cups. But the minor is what? Is the blessings. Va'avemamesh dugmas kiddush. It's mamish. What does the word mamash means? What? It's very much like this example of kiddush, the kol hashanah of the whole year. The what? The main thing is what? The blessings. And the minor is the drinking. The kol hashanah is all the same. So from here, Chaim HaLevi says all the same. Kiddush, the main thing is the bracha, and minor is drinking. By Abba Koizos, the main thing is the bracha, and minor is drinking. The same. It says Aven Mamesh Duma, same Duma is the same. And I don't say the drinking by Kiddush, it's a technical, a chitimtze. It's like Abba Koizos, you need a drink. The Gemara says halachas, if you drink it, you yoytze the chayos, you yoytze the Abba Koizos, you yoytze the shtia. The shtia definitely by Abba Koizos, you can say it's minor, you can say it doesn't exist. You can't say it's a tnai, you can't say it's a chitzoini, it's a technical, it's definitely needed there. You just can't say main and minor. You can't say it is not part of the mitzvah, it's not part of, it's adjacent to it, it's technical there, it's definitely part of, but it's not the main part. That's my Abba Koizos. And he puts it together, Abba Koizos together with Kiddush. The Koizos made a similarity, they're the same. So also by 4 cups, and by Kiddush the same. The main thing is the blessing, and the minor thing is the drinking. So wait a second. What do I gain by having main and minor? But how do I transfer the minor? You don't need to have transfer, as long as I transfer the ego. Wait a second. So the Gemara says if somebody drinks wine in a certain way, let's say chai, is yoytze day drinking, but not chayvus. If Johnny drinks it with his children, or 1 cup, is yoytze day yain, that's Abba Koizos, not 4 cups. When, I told you the exact case. If somebody drank it, again, what are we saying here? We're saying here that Kiddush and Abba Koizos are the same, and there's a minor thing which is, there's a main is blessing, and minor is drinking. So when I say, Shomer Koneh, when I hear, it's like I'm answering. I'm just transferring the minor and I don't care about them, I'm just transferring the main, and I don't care about the minor, or since I transfer the minor, the minor gets tagged along somehow, and it just transfers. What happens here? When I say, the Din Shomer Koneh goes on the Ika. What is the Ika? Is the bracha. But definitely I need the minor of, by Abba Koizos, I need drinking. The Gemara says I can be yoytze yedei Abba Koizos, but not yoytze yedei yain, drinking of the wine, shtia. So shtia is definitely a halacha, but you can say you call it tofik, you know, minor, but it's there. I'm not yoytze mitzvah mufcha, it's not like a mitzvah shleima, it's like a bleed mitzvah. So it's neither there.
It's not like Kiddush.
Wait, so it's not like Kiddush. Oh no, it is like Kiddush. It is like Kiddush. The same way when I do Kiddush, and I have a situation of wine in front of me that is going to be said B'Ri Agofen, and I say 2 brachas, B'Ri Agofen, and I say Kiddush Mekadosh HaShabbos on this cup. So therefore, what happened here? you have two things in the same time. You have kiddush on, yes, a bracha with words, on a situation that you have kosher bracha. You have a cup of drinking of wine going to be drank, not used, going to be drank. So you have the situation there. So that situation is what? It's not the Raisa is dibu. The situation is part of it. It's there, I would say it's minor or it's the ikar. I would say kiddush is ikar, the situation of cup is ikar. Maybe the drinking is minor. Or no, I would say the situation of a cup, it's a minor. And I transfer that. Or I cannot transfer. And I can do it on my own. Since you're holding a cup and you have that situation, and you transfer the bracha to me, you don't need to transfer the situation like a child. It's there, exists, and I have in mind on that cup. So I have also kosher bracha. Because when I heard you, I heard a blessing. It's a blessing transfer, and that's all it transfers. Where's the cup? Your cup? There is. I'm in the room, and you have a cup, somebody's holding a cup. So I don't have to hold it in my hand, like the Mishnah Berurah says. Or like Kiva says, no, you can't. You have to have it. How do you have it? Once you have a complete a bracha and a kosher bracha, you can transfer to me. So you transfer to me everything. So those are the two tzdodim. The one side is a Chazon Ish. Chazon Ish is the first side of Kiva. Kiva says that you cannot transfer the kiddush itself, the situation. It's only when the person made a bracha, and on the bracha Yashon Koine, I can also transfer the situation of the kiddush because it's a minor to it. And as a minor, I can transfer. Oh no, that's one side. The Mishnah Berurah in Bir Halacha brings down Agois Mordechai that no, really I only transfer the bracha. So where's the cup? I don't have a cup. No, as long as there's a cup here in the area, so I can transfer. So that would work only by kosher bracha that I need a cup. But when I'm drinking, physical drinking, where's my physical drinking? How do I transfer that? And stam also bichlal. To understand the grease in toises needs an understanding. Because even the ikar mitzvah is what? Is a bracha. And the tofel is a drinking. I cannot transfer drinking. I can transfer a bracha on a situation of drinking. But I cannot transfer physical drinking. So there I would say definitely the tofel is not transferred. The situation can be transferred according to the Biyun, the Kivega or the Chazon Ish. Or according to what we said in Mishnah Berurah, I can have the situation here, and as long as I rely my bracha on this situation, it's okay. So I transfer the situation, or I rely on that situation. But the physical drinking, nobody can transfer. That's just a reality.
I can move chayos to me.
So the only way I could say that the tofel of the physical drinking is not needed to transfer, and I need the ikar. I didn't know the tofel. And as long as the ikar is okay, and he did ikar and tofel, and I don't know the ikar, it's okay.
Why you don't say?
That's against the Gemara. The Gemara says I need those minors. If somebody did it, so the Rams. Wait. So the only thing you would say that even according to Tosfot, you can say it's not mitzvah v'namufcho, it's not mitzvah from the best, because when the Gemara says yadeyan yotza, if somebody drank harsh wine, not mixed wine, is yotze the yain? It's not yotze yadei chayus, freedom. So Rashi and Rashbam and Meran explain it's not a complete mitzvah, it's not mitzvah v'namufcho.
What if he enjoys harsh wine?
Okay, but in the world of freedom, there is parameters.
I don't like sweet wine.
So maybe you're private per person that like it, but in general, the rabbis gave us parameters. What shows freedom under the normal people? Instead of the normal people that shows freedom, that shows freedom. So therefore, you didn't produce that. Maybe in personal enjoyment, that's what you did it. But it doesn't produce what rabbis require you at night. So therefore, and there's not mitzvah movements. I would say even according to Tosfot, and that's the last line of Tosfot. Even according to Tosfot, if you can transfer the Alba Koisos or Kiddush to somebody else, it's definitely not mitzvah namufko that you also need to drink yourself. Because the physical drinking, even though it's a minor, and I say Kiddush and 4 cups is the same, and by 4 cups, definitely the drinking is mitzvah namufko, as part of the mitzvah. You can't say it's ikar, to be tofel, but it's definitely needed. It's halacha to be mitzvah namufko. So therefore, in order to do, and since I cannot transfer this mitzvah namufko is for you to drink yourself. The question is needed or not? By Kiddush, the situation of having a cup that I can transfer, one possibility on the Chazon Ish, or I don't need to transfer, I have my mind on that situation, as long as I transfer the blessing, and I have my mind, soymech on his kois, I have a cup of bracha, so that's enough. But the physical drinking of bikas hanedim, that's definitely not needed. Even a child is going to drink, somebody else is going to drink, a third person will drink it, and when he drinks, he needs to make a bracha because bikas hanedim has nothing to do with the kiddush. There definitely is a technical, so I don't need transfer.
Also, it can be that famous.
But by Arba Koisois, definitely the physical drinking is not technical, it's part of it. So it's not 100% the same. Wait, I want to define what I said. No, Chaim doesn't know. He just says the Rambam. No. Listen carefully. So we want to compare Kiddush and 4 cups. So we're saying that compared, but not 100%. That's what we're adding on what he's saying now. They're the same that by Kiddush there's a bracha and you have to have a situation of a cup. By 4 cups, you have to have a bracha and you have to have a situation of a cup. Can somebody else make a bracha with the trainer come and transfer it to me? Learn from Kiddush you can transfer. Also by Alba Kois you can transfer. How does it work? The guy did a full picture and therefore he transferred it to me. That's one possibility. There's another possibility of, like I said, Mishnah Bura and Shimon Reish Ayin Aleph. Right? The Chazon Ish brings down this Biur Halacha. He brought the Chazon Ish to the Beit Shleimer?
Yes.
Reish Ayin Aleph. Look at the Biur Halacha, he brings on Agos Mordechai. That argues with Kivei. So there I can say, Shomea Kohen only reference to the words, and the situation, I don't need to transfer. As long as my mind is on his situation, is sitting adjacent to me in the same room, it's enough. I don't need to transfer that. You have it. But what about if you need to drink physically? By a Kiddush, you don't need to drink physically, but by Abba Koishas, you can't say that the Chaim Levi meant that also you don't need to drink physically. Why? What?
Same as Kiddush.
Then what?
You don't need it. It's the same as Kiddush.
You need to show freedom on the situation of a cup, and the cup has to be sweet, mixed wine that is be sweet to people to drink. And there is chayvus.
This called derech.
It's only a tonight to drink
It doesn't say has to be chayvus. Say chayvus. Derech chayvus.
You have a Gemara here? You have a Gemara here? No, not this type of Gemara. No. Just one second, we'll finish with this, and then we'll say a word of Musa.
This is called derech chayvus.
Wait, I'm listening, I'm hearing now, possibility. I'm listening, I'm open, I'm listening. Just want to look inside. Ufres. The Gemara says in Kuf Chet Amud Bet, 4 cups needs to have in them Kedem Mezigas Kosh Yofi. Shton Chai, if I drank it raw, I'm exempt the wine, but I'm not exempt chayvus. If I drank it together, I'm exempt wine, but I'm not exempt 4 cups.
Ain't no mitzvah shleimu.
Yeah, I'm talking about mitzvah shleimu. So what does that mean if I drank them one shot, I'm exempt the wine, but I'm not exempt the 4 cups? Or if I drank it raw, so it means, if I drank it raw, I'm exempt the wine, but not exempt chayvus. So he's saying, no need to drink. Can I give the 4 cups to a child? I said a bracha of 4 cups on a cup, of one of the cups of the 4 cups. And I give it to a child to drink. Somebody has to drink it.
Why not?
What?
Derech chayvus.
Yeah. Somebody else will drink it. Yeah, if somebody else will drink it, they're chayvus, and reclining, and they're chayvus with proper wine, somebody else drinks it.
It's about matzah of derech chayvus. Not matzah of derech chayvus.
Yachad in the club.
And the world is a matzo derechim.
Who says it got and
Who says I have to drink it myself? Like Kiddush, I don't have to drink. So also wine, I don't have to drink.
It's similar.
Similar.
Not the same.
The cotton has
who
hair,
says that
has
it got
derech
and
hair.
Okay, that's a different shot. Put them on cancer. So now the couple, another person, somebody else can drink it. Okay, the Grease himself brings down that that's the way Machlekes the Rambam and the Rosh, how do you define that you drank majority of the cup? You drank it, or everybody together drank it. So it's a thing of drinking. It has to be drunk, or you have to drink it. He brings that to Machlekes the Rambam and Tosfot. And the Rosh, how do you read that?
So it's the group and the individual.
No, it's not the question group individual. The question is, the drinking is part of the mitzvah of the 4 cups? Or not? It's not part of the drinking of 4 cups. As to be a set of blessing here on the situation of a cup, of a good cup with a good wine, and it's enough. And then drunk.
So they're giving us the
Okay.
lowest.
That we have to say in Tosfot. This is the way we have to explain
You
Tosfot.
have to have wine, or else you do the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to have wine. You have to have wine. You have to have a good wine, mixed wine.
It's enough to be able to give you the
And it's okay. Yes. Okay. So let's redefine ourselves. Wait. So let's go over. We're saying like this. Tosfot is making a similarity between Kiddush and 4 cups. So while we have 2 ways to understand how does it work by Kiddush and by 4 cups. Do we say the fact that one who made the blessing, he had the situation of a cup, and I transfer really the blessings, I cannot transfer the situation, but it's minor to it, so or I don't care about it, or as a minor thing, it can be transferred. Although the Yishonah Kohen only refers to the bracha, that's the only thing I can transfer. The situation of our wine I cannot transfer. Saying no. It's a physical thing, you have to have it in front of you, and it's in front of somebody else. So we say no, you could, because it's a minor to it. So I can say 2 ways in the minor. So the minor is not needed. As long as I have the name, it's very hard to say. So I'm going to the Kiddush Dorais, what about the Rabbonon on the cup? You have to say no. Since the main thing I can transfer, so the minor tags along and also is being transferred. Oh no, he's saying no. This is the way it seems to be the Chazon Ish is saying. That once he did everything, he did Kiddush with Tnoim conditions, minors. He says Tnoim, I was saying when Tofel was all the same. So once I can transfer the Ika, I transfer the Tnoim, I transfer also the Tofel. The other possibility is saying I don't need a transfer. I have it. Had I have it in the room. I said the bracha, and my friend heard it. He transferred the bracha to him. What about a cup? A freedom cup? I have it. He doesn't have it. I have it. And it's the same room, and he was relying the bracha on such a situation. So you don't have to transfer the class. It's not minor, therefore it can be transferred. The Tnai, it can therefore be transferred. Or it's not needed, because it's not or it's being transferred. No, we say it's needed, and you don't transfer it. We both have it. The one who said the bracha had a situation, and I heard the bracha, and I got the bracha to me, and my mind is to rely on that situation of the company he's holding.
And that's Tosis hold.
I think that's Pshat and Tosis.
That would be the base halakha.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What you said, what?
That would be the Beis HaLevi.
You can't transfer the situation.
Beis HaLevi says, by Kol Roma, Birkas Koyanim, you can't transfer the Tnoim. So we're saying also here, according to those who agree, you cannot transfer conditions. That's not needed, or you could transfer as minor or Tanai. You need it, and you cannot transfer Tanai.
You cannot.
But by Kiddush, you have it, because his cup is I have it. It's okay.
So really, you hold the The Kol Ram doesn't mean.
The Beis HaLevi said you cannot transfer conditions, cannot transfer minor things. The Chazon Ish says I can transfer minor tnoim because the one who hears is attached to the one who speaks. And whatever he speaks as dibur shel mitzvah. He speaks mitoch haksav. He speaks from a situation. He said a broch on a situation of a cup. So that you can transfer all tnoim or conditions or situations. And the base of the sign, you cannot transfer situations. Tnoim. And according to what we say now, according to the Mishnah Berurah, no, you're right. You cannot transfer, but you have it. How do you have it? Because I hear his blessing. He's holding a cup and he's saying a bracha, and I have my mind that his bracha will be where to me. And where's my cup? Here, his cup is my cup because I'm relying. That's the blessing that's being said on the cup. So his situation is my situation. Very simple. Okay. Now let's say I want to say a word of Muslim. Yes.
Based on that, somebody, even let's say we're dealing with a gadol, let's say a gadol is making kiddush. Let's say everybody in the room wants to make their own kiddush.
Right.
They look at the place.
According to the Shabbat, yes.
And say with their own.
According to the Shabbat, yes. According to the Kivei, the Chazon Ish, no. Look at the Mishnah Berurah. I just don't have time to print them.